Hey everybody, greetings. How are you? Hope all's well. Hope you're on your way to your research and have come up with topics and all that kind of stuff. So today, I want to talk with you a little bit about coming up with some academic sources and where to find them and stuff like that. I'll probably be flipping around screens a little bit and sharing screens, so bear with me on some of that kind of stuff. Also, some of the screens and some of the databases here at our school's websites have been updated a little bit. So if it looks like I'm kind of flipping around a little more than usual, I apologize for that. I guess we had some updates just this past January, so things are a little bit new. So I apologize for that. So a couple things. First of all, as you saw in this week's lesson plan, when you get into um, academic sources or using academic sources, that's really kind of critical, right? I mean, I know last week we talked about the importance of sources, using credible sources, academic sources. That's kind of the crux of our research. So it's important that we find good, credible, scholarly academic sources. And the best place to get them, as you probably read and heard about, um, is to find them from reliable, good, credible sources. And the best place to find them is, any kind of school, university, library resources. And here we're lucky enough to have a whole slew of them at our own college library. So the best way to access them is through our library databases, our Cali library databases. So I'm going to give you a quick run through of how exactly to do that. So the best way is to go through the Cali website and access those databases. But the first thing you're going to need to do, which is kind of a pain, is since you're not using a Kali computer, I'm guessing most of you probably aren't, is you're going to need to get some passwords since the school pays for a lot of these databases. A lot of them are passworded. So if you're at home, you're going to need a password. So I'm going to show you. I actually posted, you'll see an announcement a little bit later if you haven't seen it already, a list of all these passwords. But if you forget them or if you don't have access to that announcement or whatever, I'm going to show you where really quick where you can find that. And the best place to find it is here. Let me see here real quick. If you go here to Blackboard, hopefully you can see this here, and you log on just to your initial screen in Blackboard. All right, this comes up. It's coming up here. The very first screen in Blackboard, right? Before you even select a course, way down here toward the bottom, you're going to see a little tab, a little button that says Rand Memorial Library Database Passwords. So when you click on this bad boy, you're going to get a whole list of passwords right here. These are all the databases, right? There's several of them. All of these databases, we're going to get into a few of them today, are going to give you the list of usernames and passwords. Usernames and passwords. So if, for example, you get into maybe some the Credo reference database, we'll hit that real quick today, or some of these other ones, you might be prompted for a username and a password. So these are all the latest up-to-date passwords and user IDs that you might need, okay? So again, I'll send this little PDF file out in one of our announcements a little bit later today, so you'll have it. But if you happen to forget it, it's always updated and available on Blackboard. Or of course, you can just email me and I'll let you know what it is, but the updated list is always on Blackboard, okay? All right. So these databases, where are they? What are they? And what do they do? So let me just show you. So let me again share the screen again. Again, sorry for all these shares, but let me just do this here real quick. Look at this and share this one. Hang on a second. Stop that share. So what you want to do is get to the main Cali database, the main Cali database, or the main Cali website, cali.edu, cali.edu, okay? And when you're on cali.edu, It'll look something like this, right? This probably looks familiar to a lot of you. And then you just gotta go to Learn at Kali Library. Learn at Kali Library. And when you click on online resources, you're going to see a whole bunch of databases, a whole bunch of them, all right here. So when you access any of these, just know that any of the files, any of the sources you get on any of these databases are what we call good academic sources. In other words, using a source or a resource or an article from something like this is much more credible than if you were to say, you know, uh, Google something, say if I'm interested in finding something about, say, solitary confinement or a topic I'm interested in, you know, climate change. If I look at one of these articles on one of these databases, this is considered much more credible than if I were to just randomly Google something on whatever topic I'm interested in. So these are where you want to find all of your articles in one of these databases. So I'm just going to go through a couple of them. I won't go through all of them. The best thing to do, quite honestly, is to just play around and find stuff. Right? They all kind of do different things. The one you're going to get into probably 99% of the time, okay, maybe 95% of the time, is this one here that says EBSCO journals and magazines. I'm going to show you a different way to get into that in a little bit that honestly does not require a password, so it's very, very cool. But all these other ones are pretty handy. One I'll just show you here real quick is one called the Credo Reference Library. And it is kind of what it just sounds like, a reference library. So think of it as a big online encyclopedia. So if you click on this, for example, it opens up and you can see it just has, you can just browse by subjects if you wanted to, or as you can see, it's just got millions of articles, lots of titles, lots of publications. But say I want to just click on, say, something like social media, for example. And then it sort of expands into lots of different things, but maybe social media and anxiety or whatever, right? Whatever you're interested in, and click on it, it will bring up lots and lots and lots of different articles and encyclopedia type references. Again, these are mostly reference things. Perfectly credible academic type articles, perfectly legitimate for your research. One thing you might want to look at is the number of words, because some of these are like dictionary type definitions. So something like this that has, almost over 9,000 words, this might be a good article to look at. Something that has just a couple hundred words might be more of a definition. But again, kind of play around here and find stuff. But for example, if you look at this, say social media, and you open this up, right, this might have all kinds of information for you that you might want to take a look at. What's clickbait, what's tagging, hashtags, everything you want to know about social media. Another cool thing that we'll talk about a little bit later, um, you read, or this week, you're going to be talking about things like, we're going to be talking about things like citations, how to cite this stuff, how to come up with your works cited list. All of these locations here in our databases have handy little places where you can cite your work. So if you click on this, you can just simply copy and paste this sort of stuff, and this will create your own works cited entries. I have another little video, actually just copy it, and this will make your own works cited entries into your essays, which makes things really nice. I have another little video that shows you how to do this that you can find in your videos folder. It shows you all this kind of stuff, but these are just really, really helpful databases here. So play around with this. Credo reference, this is one. Um, Other ones here, um, issues and controversies is more like argument related stuff. But if you click on this one, right, again, it's going to ask you for your user and password. Remember, I just showed you that a second ago. But this just shows you more like argumentative type stuff. So for example, yeah, I know my passwords are a mess. You can find all kinds of stuff here. Here's like the most popular ones right now. Cryptocurrency, that's a hot one, right? So if we take a look at that, maybe this might have some interesting stuff. Maybe some of you guys are interested in that. Um, Different things on cryptocurrency. You can see there's lots of articles here. Um, You can find out like what supporters say about this, what opponents say about this, but this will have all sorts of different articles, primary sources, right? You can see just tons and tons of stuff that you can find on this particular topic, right? So play around, play around. Has lots and lots and lots of different stuff here. Okay. So these again are just, whoops, let me just back up just a little bit more. So these are some more, it's just some popular databases. And you can see there's some videos, right? These are some academic videos that you might find. These might be things like, oh, I don't know, ProPublica databases, maybe, or I'm sorry, videos, maybe some PBS videos, some other, more scholarly type videos that you can use for whatever you're looking at. Again, I guess I can just click on it and you can kind of see here what they have. Oh, there's a password thing. Um, you can find a bunch of stuff here. Lots and lots of stuff. Yeah, my passwords are a mess. Um, right, right. All kinds of stuff, all kinds of stuff. Uh, revolution in education, right? Humanities, all kinds. You just play around with this kind of stuff. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. All kinds of stuff here where you can find some scholarly sources, more things, music, Oxford Music Group, Statistica has a lot of statistic stuff, health databases, nursing and allied care, annals of emergency medicine, government stuff, labor statistics. I mean, there's just lots and lots of stuff. Art stuffs, for you creative types, bunches and bunches and bunches of stuff. Okay? Play around, play around. The one I really want to show you though is this one. I mentioned earlier that this EBSCO one, this EBSCO journals and magazines. This is where you're going to find nearly all of the journals, magazines, articles that you will be using in your paper. But let me show you an easier way to find this. I'm going to stop my share one more time. Stop my share one more time. 1 second here. And I'm going to go back to our class here. So give me a second here. So I'm going to go back to our class. So here's our class. So if you go into our class, this is our class, right? And you scroll way down here, you're going to see a folder that says institutional resources. You probably notice this one way at the bottom. I don't know if any of you have been to it before, but if you click on this guy, you're going to see a little folder that says EBSCO. EBSCO. If you click on this guy, this is going to take you to those EBSCO databases I was telling you about. And this will not ask you for a password because it's using the credentials that you already used to log into Blackboard. So it's already got your name and password and all that. And what this does, this is really cool. This is really super cool stuff. This is going to give you access to literally tens of thousands of scholarly, peer-reviewed academic articles. So again, for example, if you wanted to find something on social media and anxiety, for example, you can just click on this, do a quick search, and as you can see, this is we're going to pull up 1,600 different articles on just social media and anxiety. And you can see they're all peer-reviewed academic journals here. Um, Now, some of these are going to seem like really, really deep. As I said, these are scholarly articles. So, like for example, if you just, kind of go through here and see if any of these look interesting to you, um, but you might want to just kind of click on it, take a quick look at it, uh, and you'll see something here that will have. Let's see if I can remember this. If you click on let me go back to the beginning here. If you click on one of these, you can get like the abstract of it. Let's see, where was the abstract? Was it here? So this first article, exploring the link between social media engagement, social anxiety, and environmental preferences in university students. So this could be really interesting. And if I want, I can pull up the PDF file of the whole thing. So this is the whole article itself. And so right at the beginning of the article is what we call the abstract. So just by reading this first paragraph, again, some of these articles, you might not need all of them. I mean, right, it came up with 1,600 of them. I guarantee you're probably not going to need all of them. But if you read just this first paragraph, the abstract, um, this is sort an abstract is sort of the summary of everything, of what the article is. Um, this might tell you if you really want this at all. So if you can just get through this first paragraph, so right as mental health issues become increasingly prominent, blah, 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 social anxiety. So you might decide you want this article. So if you do want it, right, we can find out here. Let me move this. This is, how many pages is this? This is a 23-page article. So if you do want it, right, you might have to read through these. We're doing research, right? This is what researchers do. You might want to go through this article and read through this. I mean, there might be stuff that is useful to your social media and anxiety stuff. You might want to use some of these stats that you see here, right? There's some stats in here. Um, and later this week, you're going to find out how to quote some of this stuff in here. But this is how you find some really deep, I just did that. Really deep scholarly articles in this EBSCO database. And as you can see, you can find anything. I just did social media and anxiety. Maybe you want to do solitary confinement, right? I don't know why I always pick that one. Solitary confinement and mental health, maybe, right? You can just pick your article or pick your topic. Do a search of this one. And here you see only 115 came up in this one. Uh, and see, maybe the first one doesn't sound good. Let's see. City's new solitary confinement law will make us safer. Now that one sounds interesting. So if I click on this one, let's see, and I open it. So opening up the PDF, that's the actual article itself. This is like the actual magazine that you might see, or magazine or journal article. So this one here is only 2 pages. So this is a shorter one. So this is what actually showed up in the newspaper on February 14th, 2024. Also or that was just recently, actually, from the New York Amsterdam News, right? City's new solitary confinement law will make us safer. So I might find a quote here, and I could probably use maybe something like this in my paper. And then later on, right, this week we're going to talk about how you would actually find a quote if you want to use one of these quotes and put it in your paper. And this one also, EBSCO, I did it again. Right. Didn't I tell you they just made some updates to all this stuff? So I'm still kind of learning along with you how to use this new sort of EBSCO thing. So I'm gonna go back to the solitary confinement thing. Solitary. Well, the last thing I want to show you here, and then I'll let you get to playing. Um, the solitary confinement thing. Do a share or search. Right. Of course, you're gonna have to. Oh no. Where did it go? Oh, solitary confinement, mental health. That's what I did. One of the things you're going to have to do, oh, here we go, is, right, you're going to have to acknowledge these sources and list where you got them all. So this also has one of those little cite buttons. So this is where you're going to, right, we're using MLA. And again, there's another video already out there. So this is how I would cite, or where I would build my works cited page. See, I use all this stuff to build my works cited page. And you'll see another video um, posted that shows how to, write an informative report slash research paper, and it explains this a little more in detail, how to actually use these and build your works cited lists, citations, stuff like that. But all this stuff is very, very handy. So remember all this stuff. So again, the best thing to do is just go and play. But what I wanted to show you here in this video is where to find these databases, how to access them, and all that kind of stuff, because you will be using these a lot, not only this EBSCO one, but the other Kali databases that I showed you as well. Okay, so hopefully that helps a little bit. Again, if you need anything these next few weeks in finding these databases, maybe some ideas on resources and the like, please let me know. Okay, so have fun with your research. Good luck in finding stuff, and I'm anxious to see what you all come up with. All right, have a great day, everyone. Talk soon.